Hello friends, welcome to educlinics.com. Educlinics, where future begins. Today's topic is number systems part 4, and the learning objectives of number systems part 4 are necessity and purpose of fractions, what are fractions, types of fractions, and fractions in real life applications, and frequently asked questions on fractions. And number systems classifications. In this, till now we have completed up to integers, and now we are going to learn about fractions. Why do we need fractions? So here some group of items are there, that is group of apples. So far we have dealt with whole numbers that used to count how many items are there in a group of items. So these are called whole numbers because they count whole things rather than whole parts, divided parts. So like number of apples available in a group, or 18 apples are there in a group of apples, total bunch of apples are 18. So we use it to count whole numbers in this group. So in order to express the whole parts divided into subparts, in order to represent that subpart, we require fractions. We see one example here. One apple, that is one whole part, whole apple is divided into two equal parts, and in order to represent that divided part, that is half part, we require fractions like this: 1 divided by 2 parts, 1 in 2 parts, 1 in 2 parts to represent the divided part. Similarly, one whole part is divided into 3 parts, 3 equal parts, and to represent that divided part, that equally divided part, to represent that equally divided part, we require fraction. That fraction means 1 divided by 3. So that is 1 in 3 parts. Similarly, the whole apple is divided into 4 parts, that is 4 equal parts. To represent one of the part, we require fractions, that is 1 divided by 4, 1 in 4 parts. So these are for representing the divided part, we require fractions. And next is, in order to extend our idea of number to include parts of whole, we use fractions such as halves, thirds, quarters, etc. Why do we need fractions? Continued, and we will take the same example, that is group of apples. So here already we have seen that group of apples are, how many apples are there? Total 18 apples are there in this group, and in this group we have seen that some of the apples in red color, some of the apples are in green color, and some of the red yellow color are there. So to represent those different items in a group, we require fractions. We will see that one by one. Here we have some green apples are there. How many green apples are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 green apples are there out of how many apples? Total 18 apples. To represent these 5 apples in a group, we require fractions. So what is that fraction here? 5 green apples out of 18 apples. So the fraction is, to represent these green apples, we require this fraction, that is 5 divided by 18, means 5 green apples out of 18 apples. And similarly the red apples. So here also, to represent some red apples in a group of apples, we require fractions. So that is also 5 divided by 18. To represent those red apples, we require fractions, that is 5 red apples out of 18 total apples, total 18 apples. that is 5 red delicious apples out of 18 apples. And similarly, this red yellow apples, that is remaining apples are 8 apples, that is all are red yellow apples, 8 out of 18 apples, that is 8 red yellow apples out of 18 apples. So, here to represents the some items, some group of items in the whole group. To represent that group of items, that is similar like red apples, green apples, we require fractions. So, this is the need for fractions to represent the items in a whole group of different items. Next is the quantity which represents part of a whole is called a fraction. A fraction is an expression of the type a divided by b, where a and b are two whole numbers and b not equal to 0, and a is called the numerator and b is called the denominator. And here we will see the representation of a fraction 3 by 5 on a number line. This is the number line, these are the parts of the number line, and first we have to divide the number line to whole numbers, that is 0, 1, 2. After that, if we have to represent these fraction 3 out of 5 parts, we have to divide the 0 to 1 in 5 equal parts, that is 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5 and 5 by 5. Here we have 5 equal parts from 0 to 1. In that, one fraction is 3 out of 5 is there. So, like this we represent this 3 by 5, that is 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5. 3 by 5 means third part of this 0 to 1. So, this is the representation of 3 out of 5 on a number line. Next is concept of fractions. Here two parts are there total. In this, one part is shaded and we have to represent this half part. To represent this half part, we require fraction, and that is half part is shaded, means 1 out of 2 parts. So, we have shaded one part out of 2 parts, that is 1 by 2, 1 divided by 2 part shaded, and similarly this remaining part is 1 by 2 part unshaded. So, this is the concept of fractions. And next is one more example is there, 3 parts. So, total parts are 3. In this we have shaded 2 parts out of 3 parts, means 2 divided by 3 parts are shaded in this, that is 2 parts out of total 3 parts we have shaded. To represent these shaded parts, we require fractions. Similarly, to represent this unshaded portion also, we require, to represent this unshaded part also we require fractions, that is 1 divided by 3, one unshaded part in whole 3 parts. To represent these fractions, we require all these fractions to represent this. This is the concept of fractions using these shaded and unshaded portions. And next we will see the types of fractions. So, in these types of fractions, first is proper fractions. What is proper fractions? We will see. So, a fraction whose numerator is less than its denominator is called a proper fractions. Means numerator is less than its denominator is called proper fractions. For example, 1 by 2 means 1 is less than 2, and 2 divided by 3, 2 is also less than 3, and 4 by 7, 4 less than 7. So, these are the proper fractions, examples of proper fractions. And next one is improper fractions, means a fraction whose numerator is greater than or equal to its denominator is called improper fractions. Means, for example, 9 by 7, in this numerator is greater than 7, greater than denominator. like 9 is greater than denominator, and also 11 by 5 means this is also improper fraction, that is 11 is greater than 5, and in this 4 by 4 means greater than or equal to, means 4 is equal to denominator, that is why these fractions are called improper fractions. And next is mixed fractions. In this mixed fraction has two parts, one is whole number and the other is proper fraction. Already we have seen the proper fraction, that is numerator is less than the denominator. For example, 1 3 by 4, 1 3 by 4 means 1 means whole part and 3 by 4 is a proper fraction. And similarly 4 1 by 3 means 4 means whole part, whole number part, and 1 by 3 is a proper fraction. And similarly 3 1 by 2, 3 is a whole part, whole number, and 1 by 2 is a mixed fractions. These are the types of fractions: mixed proper fractions, improper fractions, and mixed fractions. And next types of fractions we will see like fractions. So what are like fractions? Fractions which have the same denominators are called like fractions. For example, 1 by 7, 2 by 7, 4 by 7, etc. are like fractions. In this, denominator is common here, 7 7 7. So same denominators means like fractions. And next one more is unlike fractions. So what are unlike fractions? Fractions which have the different denominators are called unlike fractions. Earlier we have seen same denominators, here we have seen different denominators means unlike fractions. For example, 2 by 5, 3 by 7, 9 by 16, etc. are unlike fractions. Here 5, 7, 16 are different denominators are there. That is why these fractions are called unlike fractions. Next is equivalent fractions. So what are equivalent fractions? Two or more fractions have the same value are called equivalent or equivalent fractions. Equivalents are equivalent fractions. So means this two or more fractions have the same value means equivalent fractions. For example, 2 by 3 or 4 by 6, etc. are equivalent fractions. So these are the examples of equivalent fractions. Here we will see the fractions real life applications, and we will see one chocolate bars are there, different chocolate bars are there here. Chocolate bars are divided into equal parts in order to serve 4, 6 and 8 persons per piece. So here to represent the divided parts, that is here first one is 4 parts are there. In that 4 parts, one part, in order to represent that fourth part, we need fractions, that is it is represented by 1 divided by 4. In order to serve 4 people, we require to divide the whole chocolate bar into 4 parts. And similarly, in order to serve 6 persons, we need the chocolate bar is divided into 6 equal parts. So one part is 1 by 6th. Similarly, if 8 persons are there, then we have to divide the chocolate bar into 8 equal parts. So one part is represented with fraction 1 by 8. So this is the real life applications. So sharing of food, real life applications in. So without fractions we wouldn't be able to share the food in equal parts. So this is real life applications, and one more real life application is there. That is 1 rupee is equal to 100 paisa. So equal to, it is 1 whole rupee is divided into 2 parts, that is 50 paisa and 50 paisa, and these 50 paisa is represented with fractions, that is 1 by 2, 1 divided by 2 means 150 paisa. 1 whole rupee is divided into 2 parts, that is 50 paisa plus 50 paisa, and one part is represented with 1 by 2. So 1 in 2 parts. Similarly, 1 whole rupee is equal to 100 paisa, and it is divided into 4 equal parts, and each part is 25 paisa, means 25 paisa plus 25 paisa, 25 paisa, 25 paisa equal to 100 paisa. So, 25 into 4 paisas may equal to 100 paisa. So, in this one part is represented with 1 divided by 4, means 1 whole rupee is divided into 4 parts, 1 out of 4. So, 1 in 4 parts. Similarly, if we require further division, we will see, for example, 1 rupee whole rupee is divided into 10 equal parts. So, that is 10 paisa, 10 paisa each in 10 parts. So, 10 into 10 paisa, 10 paisa, 10 paisa means like total 10 parts are there, 10 into 10 is equal to 100 paisa, means 1 rupee. So, each 10 paisa is represented with 1 by 10. So, 1 in 10 parts. So, this is the real life applications of fractions. Okay. And next is simplification of fractions. So, using BODMAS rule. Here BODMAS rule means the simplification process requires some order of operations. So, what are those operations? So, first one is B. B means brackets, of, O means of, D means first operation is division, next operation is multiplication, and third operation is addition, and fourth operation is subtraction. So, these brackets also we have, for simplifying brackets also we have some order. So, order of simplifying these brackets or solving these brackets is, first one is line brackets 1, and second one is round brackets, and third one is curly brackets, and fourth one is order of solving, fourth step is square brackets. So, in order to simplify the fractions, we use this BODMAS rule for solving the fractions or simplifying the fractions. So, this is all about fractions. We have frequently asked questions in exams on fractions. First one is representation of fractions on the number line, and next is reduce the given fractions in its lowest terms, and next arranging fractions in ascending and descending order, operations on fractions like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, conversion of one type of fractions into another, comparison of fractions, that is greater than, equal to or less than, etc. Next is word problems on applications of fractions. And this is all about fractions, and thank you for watching.